continue to progress.
Hello and welcome to the 2015 Beatson's Build and Supply Mull Rally. This weekend competitors will take to the challenging narrow and twisty stages of the roads in Mull. The event will consist of over 160 stage miles, which will take place over 3 legs, 2 of which will be in the dark. The island of Mull is the second largest of the islands in the Inner Hebrides and has a population of just 3,000 inhabitants. Its picture postcard scenery can be found around every corner, and the most famous of these locations is the colourful harbour town of Tobermory. The brightly coloured houses that frame the harbour are most well known for their regular appearance in the children's TV show Ballymorey. Situated on the northeast corner of the island, it plays host to the Mull Rally each year, and in one of the bars you can find the now famous Tunnock's tea cake eating competition, with entries gorging on as many of the chocolate tea cakes as possible in just 4 minutes. This year's winner managed a staggering 17 tea cakes. Next door to the bar is the Tobermory Distillery. Founded in 1798, the historic grounds play host to the rally's scrutineering, which takes place on the Friday morning, with the owners kindly giving up the space inside the distillery walls to allow the cars to be given a final check-over before they head to the start, providing a place for spectators to get up close to the cars, and just another chance to socialise with fellow competitors and rally fans. This year's event starts on the outskirts of the town and heads over the Mishnish Loch stage, a fantastic roller coaster over a stage which is a firm favourite with most of the drivers, as it has a mix of everything you could wish for. But before we take a look at that, let's head back 12 months and a quick look at the 2014 event. After a disappointing early end to their 2013 event, Callum and Ian Duffy were even more keen for the win. And things went well for the pair, going into the final stage with a good lead. However, they wouldn't feel like they had done enough in the long 22-mile final test. Thankfully for them, a chase in Tristan Pye would only manage to take half a minute from Duffy, and the win would go to the local pair, with Pye having to settle for second and miss out on his first Mull Rally win. But the biggest disappointment would come to John McCrory, heading into the final stage of the event with 39 seconds to Pye ahead, and determined to grab second place from him. But midway through the stage, the car would suffer a broken drive shaft and sideline the car at the side of the stage, ending any hopes of second place, or indeed a podium. Of course, the action wasn't contained to the top of the results, with plenty of fantastic drives over the weekend. And on an event like Mull, taking part really is half of the result. On to the 2015 event though. And as usual, the event starts with a start just outside the town, and a chance to catch up with some of the crews and find out what their expectations are going into the first of the Friday evening stages. So Callum, you've won the event 8 times before, you won it last year. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, not nervous yet, but it's a new car, so looking forward to the challenge, obviously did it at Escort for 20 years, so let's say with the Subaru now, Group A Subaru, so looking forward to it.
Have you done much testing in the car at all?
We've done 2 events, Max Stages and Ulster Rally, and then there's been a bit done to the car since then, so new brakes and everything in the car, so it definitely stops and goes.
So John, you're a previous winner of this event, you're out in a new car today, what's your plans?
I think it's going to be difficult just to go straight out and go flat out, so going to have to definitely get used to the car in the first couple of stages, make sure I get to service, that's very important for me, so, and most of all, to be honest with you, just enjoy it. That's my plan for tonight anyway.
How difficult is it to get used to a new car?
Yeah, it's very difficult. When you don't know the car, I don't know how difficult it's going to be. So this car is completely different to anything I've ever driven in terms of it's got loads of torque. I'm used to revving cars as hard as they'll go. With this, I just have to fire gears at it, change gears as fast as I can. It's also a little bit heavier, so it takes a bit more stopping. So it's going to be interesting in places, but hopefully I'll get to grips with it as fast as possible.
Okay, so Tristan, you were second here last year. What's your aims for this weekend?
We'd like to do as well again. I don't know that it's likely. There's a lot more competition than there was last year, but we're going to go through the first night, see how we are at the end of that, and if we're in a position where we can push to get in the top 3, we will do.
Have you made any changes to the car since last year?
Nothing drastic this year. It's pretty much the same car, so it should hopefully still be able to manage the same pace.
So John, you're a regular to Mull over here. What is it that makes you keep returning to Mull every year?
Well, it's a number of things. The roads, the people, the atmosphere when you get here. It's absolutely fantastic. I was trying to work it out. I think this is my 26th year. So yeah, I'm well and truly hooked.
And what's your plans for this weekend?
Well, it's got to be to win, hasn't it? But it very much depends on on circumstances. The weather looks like it's going to be changeable, and there's some quick lads out there, so it's going to be difficult tonight.
So you've won the event twice before, and tonight you're out in a completely different car. How are you feeling?
Extremely nervous, if I'm being honest. Haven't done. The last time I did the event was 2011, and we're lucky enough to win. And after that, I said that was me done. But we're back in a Mark II Escorts car that I've always wanted to try. So we're just out for a bit of fun, and I'm hoping by the end of the event we'll get some competitive times.
Are you going to make it your third win?
I would doubt it, but if we get to the finish, I'll be delighted.
So you're a driver that always goes well over here. How are you feeling today?
Aye, good, aye. Looking forward to it, ready for it now.
This isn't the car we're used to seeing you in Mull. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, the old cars, I finally parted with. We had a lot of tears. This is just like a factory WRC car, and I've done about 4 miles in it and no competition, so oh dear. Fingers crossed.
It's nice to see a car like this so high up in the order. What's your plans for this weekend?
Get to the finish. That's all we're doing. No heroics. So just try and get round, good clean run, and that'll be just fine.
So Derek, you're back to the island again. How are you feeling this weekend?
Aye, back again, back to try and get round it this time and try and be a bit more successful. But aye, looking forward to it. Had a good enough recce, so see how it goes.
So on to the first couple of stages, and it would be the lead for last year's winners Callum and Ian Duffy, taken to the wheel of a Subaru Impreza this time out, and going well so far with a 24-second lead. For Daniel Harper and Chris Campbell, it would be second. They were having a good start to the event themselves, with over half a minute advantage in that position. And in the final podium place after stage 2 were Jonathan Mounsey and Richard Wardle, the pair also lying third in Class D, which dominated the whole of the top 10. Derek McGeehan and Arthur Keedans make the trip from Ireland once again to compete on the event. A good start for the pair with 4th place at this stage in the Mini, just 5 seconds back from Mounsey. After missing out last year, John McCrone and Andy Mort were looking for the win this year, the pairing joining each other in the Subaru for what was now the home event for both crews, 5th place for now. Previous event winner Paul McKinnon and Ewan McGilvray were out this weekend in a newly built Escort, 6th place for now, just 13 seconds behind McCrone.
Then it's long right 3, don't cut, and hairpin left, don't cut. Just keep your momentum and use the car. Flat left 4 over crest, and flat right 2 over crest, flat left 4 into right 1 over crest, 120, braking, right 5 tidy, hairpin right line. Get your line sorted. Hairpin right, hairpin left, hairpin left turn in, hairpin left turn in. Then right 4, don't cut into hairpin right, in late. Don't be too aggressive. Then left 5 edge, crest C100. Right 4 plus over bumps. Just watch her in these. 60, get a stop for hairpin left, don't go wide. Don't go wide. Long right 6 over crest. Into long right 8 in late. Long right 8 in late, 120. Braking for hairpin.
And for Donnie McDonald and Ashley Will, it would be 7th place. Times were close, only 6 seconds behind McKinnon at this stage. And it would be even closer for Sean Sinclair and Chris Hamill, 8th place to finish stage 2, and only a single second back from McDonald. And a similar story for Richard and Edwin Cook, just a single second between them and Sinclair, all looking very close going into the next few stages of the evening. And rounding out the top 10 were Alan Gardner and Robin Nicholson, even closer on the times, finishing stage 2 on exactly the same time overall as Cook ahead. In some of the classes outside the top 10, it would be the Class C lead for Ross Marshall and Dave Robson, lying 13th place overall. But it would be a place they would have to share with Stuart Morrison and Shona McGilvray, who equal the times on the opening stages to lie equal at the lead of Class C. And it would only be a further 2 seconds back to the next place in that class, with Doug Weir and Linda Brown ending this pair of stages chasing down the joint class leaders. In Class B, it would be the lead for Ian Chadwick and Johnny Bold, travelling all the way from Southern Ireland to be at the event, so the lead would of course be a welcomed one. And it would be a good start too for Kev Dunn and James Braithwaite, as they take the early advantage in Class A at this stage. With Chadwick ahead in Class B, it would be Mark and Andrew Constantine who take up second, getting back into things now after their accident on the Northwest stages. Jimmy McRae and Ian Grimrod make the trip to Mull to contest the rally, a partnership that many will recognise. They lead the way in the historic competitors so far this weekend. And in 42nd overall, it would be the final podium place in Class B at this stage for Alec Brown and Alexander Corrigan, just 10 seconds behind Constantine. Ian and Alan Noble have had a good run to the end of stage 2 with 2nd place in Class A, 35 seconds behind the class leaders up ahead. And it would be a little closer for Stuart Dodds and Paul Griffin, 3rd in the class and just 7 seconds back from Noble ahead. Andrew and Brian Smith reach this stage with 2nd place in the historic cruise, and actually leading the H3 class within it.
So Fergus, we've just heard you have what sounded like a fairly big accident. Can you just talk us through what's happened?
Well, we had a wee accident there. Basically came round the corner and slid off and obviously into the trees there. But yeah, no, I think it was the tyre choice wasn't very great. Maybe the setup wasn't just quite there. Maybe we're a bit cold. We've been doing a bit of gravel now, so there's maybe a bit of getting used to the old tarmac again. But yeah, no, we're 8 miles into the 2nd stage here, and the car still wasn't really coming on. And driving hard, come round that corner there, it kind of nips on you over the top, carrying a good bit of speed there, and just slipped her off down into the grass over there. And then just obviously she dipped down and pulled me in over the trees, unfortunately.
So at the end of stage 2, the results at the top looked like this. On to the next couple of stages then, and the weather would make a turn for the worse. And for a lot of crews, that meant they were out on slicks, including rally leaders Callum and Ian Duffy. But thankfully they maintained that lead to the end of the day.
So Callum, going into service you were leading the rally. How have the last 3 stages been?
Yeah, okay. Sort of swapping time with John McCrone, taking seconds here and there. That was horrendous, that stage. It was really, really wet. We were on slicks. Just horrible, absolutely horrible.
Have you done enough to maintain your lead?
No idea.
No changes either for Daniel Harper and Chris Campbell. They remain in second place, but the advantage at the top was growing now, up to 51 seconds.
So after the first 2 stages going into service, we could see that you were lying second. How have the last 3 stages been for you?
It's been very difficult the last 3, very changeable grip, a lot of standing water in this one, we struggled a little bit in here.
Do you think you've done enough to maintain a good lead going into tomorrow?
I haven't a clue.
John McCrone and Andy Mort climbed their way back up the results a little in these stages, but had to back off towards the end of the loop due to standing water. They lie 35 seconds behind Harper.
John, Callum said you have been swapping times all evening. How have the last 3 stages been?
The last 2 were okay, we're on a much better pace, but we just had to back right off there. Really bad conditions. We're on slicks and it's really wet, so we've lost a lot of time there, I would have thought, so hey ho.
Unfortunately for Jonathan Mounsey and Richard Wardle, the move up to 3rd for McCrone means a move down the results to 4th for them. But that was still a good position to go into day 2.
Jonathan, you've been going well tonight.
Yeah.
How was the last stage there for you?
Bloody brilliant. Coming down there from De Veeg, Aquaplane City, flat out, mega rush. Loved it.
Paul McKinnon and Ewan McGilvray were struggling a little with the conditions, aquaplaning everywhere, but they reached the end of the stage with 5th place, although also having problems with the gearbox at the stop line. Hopefully nothing serious going into day 2.
Right 6 here, then left 3, 90, left 2 over crest, then it's right 3, crest jump, just be careful, and kink, right 1, left 2, then right 1 don't cut, then left 6, right 6 plus, left 5, and right 7 plus over crest, turn in, patience, 160, left 5 in over crest, carry, watch the back end, watch when you put the power on here, 100, right 5 edge over crest, right 5 edge over crest, 80, left 5 plus line, 70, then right 2 at pole, 60.
Paul, we could see in that stage that you were catching John. How did you get on in that stage?
Not very well actually, so slippy, wrong, just aquaplaning a lot at the back and stuff like that, so seem to not be getting neutral here as well, so it's all go. Anyway, we're still here, we're into Saturday, so hopefully it'll dry up for us a wee bit.
Lewis Gallagher and Sam Bold were enjoying things, or at least getting through without problems. They reached the end of the day with 6th place overall.
So Lewis, we've had a big change in weather. How was that last stage for you?
Oh, it was fine. It was a bit slippy the last couple of miles, but apart from that, it was quite good. Yeah, it was good. So far, so good.
And for Richard and Edwin Cook, it would be much the same as everyone else. With the car on slicks, it would be hard to push any more than they already were.
So Richard, there's been a big change in the weather. How have you been getting on this evening?
It was tricky up there, just quite heavy rain, we're on slicks and we were floating a bit. Could have done with some paddles maybe.
John Pope and Clive Molyneux move up the results a little, but feel they have a lack of confidence on the stages. Maybe things were going better than they felt.
John, everyone's saying the conditions in there are quite difficult tonight. How did you find it?
Yeah, extremely difficult, like you say. I've got no confidence tonight. I don't know what it is, but at the end of the day, we're still here and we'll live to fight tomorrow.
Sadly, for Tristan Pye and Andrew Faulkner, it would not be the best of starts. Power steering problems and a set of hard slicks in the wet certainly wasn't the way to win rallies. They end the day with 9th.
Tristan, we heard after stage 2 you've had some problems. Has that all been resolved now?
I think now it has. It's the first stage we've had a clean run on. We had no power steering for the other one, so a little bit tired now.
And how was that stage for you in there?
It was horrible. It was really wet and we're on full slicks, hard ones, so struggled a bit.
And we also see Tony Bardi and Neil Coleman move up into the top 10 now. The new car taking some getting used to on the stage, but also suffering with the noise coming from inside the car.
So Tony, how have you been getting on in the new car tonight?
It's a big learning curve, and yeah, we have a few small issues with a very bad noise. I've no idea what it is. It's quite frightening, but and then this rain, quite a baptism of fire. So I'm ready for a beer.
So, at the end of day 1, the results look like this. Day 2, and the crews would face 9 stages in the daylight. But unfortunately that wasn't to happen. An accident in the morning stages involving John McCrone and Andy Mort would unfortunately prove fatal for Andy, and the event would be cancelled with immediate effect. Our thoughts go out to all involved, and although this serves a harsh reminder of the dangers involved in our sport, it also shows us that the motorsport community is a strong one, and those that are taken too soon will never be forgotten.
Five right flat in and 6 right continued over clear.